Well, we told you it was happening when Joe Biden was vice president. The media, the Obama White House, late-night TV hosts, they laughed it all off. We knew it was crazy when a drunk or stoned hunter left his laptop at a repair shop. We now know the CIA director at the time, Mike Morrell, in a panic, fast-tracked a letter and solicited signatures to falsely create a narrative that the whole laptop, with pictures of Hunter Biden smoking crack, with a receipt signed by Hunter Biden, with Hunter Biden's phone number on it, was somehow Russian disinformation. We normal people beyond suspected that Joe Biden was in fact on the take, and with his family as well. How? Because no rational person would believe that a guy doing crack was given $2 billion of cash for a private equity fund by China. Approximately 0 people, give or take, with a brain, mind you, believe that Hunter Biden was worth $80,000+ a month for a natural gas company's board seat in Ukraine. Now, thanks to James Comer and the House Oversight Committee, we got the receipts. The Bidens have skated on this for far too long, as they have for 2 reasons mainly. First is that the media and the deep state bureaucratically entrenched government refused to dig into this. We know the FBI was even willing to cover this up, as they had a report for this cattywampus for years. They said nothing. We know that there were over 150 suspicious activity reports on the Biden family, specifically on Hunter, and they did nothing. The federal government gave air cover for what now appears to be a compromised man who's become the president of the United States. And second, and this is probably equally as important, if not more important, the reason the Biden family has avoided any real smoking gun here is because they made their web of businesses so complicated that even most people and even forensics accountants lost interest, even when there was a story reported, which was exactly their intent. But we're going to break it down for you tonight, make it really simple. I was able to understand it, so we're going to make it really simple, trust me. Unlike anyone else, because if you look at the front page of the mainstream media, who's the story right now? It's not this. It's George Santos. So before we start, let me be very clear here. The following information comes directly from the House Oversight Committee's ongoing investigation into the Biden family's murky business dealings. We're merely reporting the facts and breaking down what we got here. So the pattern, which caught the attention of the Oversight Committee, obviously, is very simple. Regularly, during Joe Biden's career, when he traveled or was responsible for oversight, diplomacy, aid, suspiciously, anything he did, corresponding businesses started popping up with members from his inner circle and his family. As you see here, international business dealings took place between members of the Biden family tree and a variety of corporations and former representatives, not limited to $2 billion from a Chinese investment firm, nearly $100,000 a month for Hunter's place on a board with the Ukrainian natural gas company, and a lot of shady business from a man in Romania, among others. Money from these transactions filtered down to a series of Biden-affiliated shell corporations, many of which were coincidentally not founded until Joe Biden became VP. Now, the first red flag, which was noted in today's press conference, none of these organizations can point to a single product or service they received for their money. Now, if you're as confused as I am about this, that was exactly the intention of the Biden syndicate. But stay with me here. We got more to see. In an effort to further wash their money, it was distributed to an additional network of shell entities and individuals, namely Hunter Biden. At least 2 more associates as well, Rob Walker and Tony Bobulinski. He's already spoke out about it. Now, this type of money movement is actually pretty common practice, especially when you're dealing with foreign companies and their subsidiaries. This is also clouding the ability for forensics accountants to track it very easily. Now, in my experience in business, people who hide behind a variety of shell corporations do so for either legal reasons or to cover their tracks, or both. It's not a complicated process. I can file a Delaware-based corporation simply by going to the Secretary of State website, paying about $100, and have a legal entity that can retain as many holdings or as much holdings as I'd like and absolve me of pretty much all liability. All right, so what's next? Now, this may be the smoking gun. House Oversight Committee James Comer has obtained a series of bank records which show money that was distributed from Hunter and these other shell corporations to what is being reported as at least 8 additional Biden family members. We're talking about tens of millions of dollars here, folks. This is not insignificant money. The 3 of these recipients have been named: James, Haley, and Sarah Biden. But the other 5 beneficiaries remain millions richer and completely anonymous at this point. Now, if you listen to the mainstream media, there is one major player here who has somehow, I don't know how, not been revealed. The big guy, who, according to an email recovered from Hunter's laptop, was owed 10% of all of those transactions we just talked about. Now, I'm not saying I know who the big guy is, but who is the one guy at the top of this food pyramid who is a mutual connection to everyone we just discussed? Who is a big name and an even bigger appetite for, I don't know, $2.9 million beach house in Delaware on a $200,000 salary, no less, on top of another Delaware home in a high-class neighborhood where a nice, shiny Corvette was kept next to some classified information? Look, I can't walk into a courtroom and convict anyone of anything. But it seems awful suspicious to me that a bunch of people with the last name Biden who can't point to a single product they've ever produced in exchange for all this money are so obscenely wealthy. And it's taken this long to get to the bottom of these transactions? Yet someone like Donald Trump, who has literally built skyscrapers, hotels, casinos, that's what he has to show for his business transactions. He's had to fend off criminal and civil cases left and right during and even after his presidency. Is justice still blind in America?
Why not just be straight with us? Why not come clean? Why not tell us the truth? Tell the American people the truth. They deserve that from their government. Again, the fundamental question is, what did they do to warrant the receipt of millions and millions of dollars? Why did Joe Biden's brother? Why did Joe Biden's sister-in-law? Why did Joe Biden's son? Why did so many family members get the money? What did they do to warrant receipt of that money? That's the fundamental question.